One of the reasons this myth perpetuates itself, and I've felt this various times listening to people talk over the last couple of days, is because I think humanitarians often make a transfer of morality, motivation, commitment between the individual and the organization, which in fact serves to disguise what's going on. So this room is full of people, practitioners, scholars and others, who are deeply committed, deeply ethical people who have been motivated in their careers and in their work by a desire to help other people, to care for other people. But that's not what humanitarian organizations are about. That's not what the global humanitarian industry is about. So it's a kind of alibi we have because we know so many people who are deeply committed and involved at an operational level, that the regime that we see globally somehow has at its core those values. Okay? Save the Children is $1 billion a year business that's now globally branded. Okay? It sells images of suffering children. I ran through the websites yesterday of the top 10 international NGOs. Think how many analyses there have been in the last 10, 20, 30 years about the use of images of children. 8 of the 10 have images of black children in situations of poverty or suffering on them. This is the business model. This is how you raise funds. Okay? MSF didn't have those images on, I should say. There's a sort of MSF crowd here to some degree. But it's a business model. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not doing some good things with this money, but the weight of the organization is in a global policy structure run by someone, Jasmine Whitbread, who prides herself on the MBA that she has and on her business experience. It's run as a business. That's the reality about these global international governmental organizations. And it's one strategy for survival for global humanitarian NGOs because there's money in suffering. Okay? Because the poor, the suffering can be subject to strategies of accumulation. Not profits in the narrow sense. Think about it more like Bourdieu's cultural capital. Okay? It's about growth. It's about more fundraising. It's about bigger budgets. It's about being involved in more places. It's about being involved in more intensely in different issues and more marginal issues you can bring in because you're now raising more funds. Okay? But it's part of this general middle-class political economy of philanthropy and humanitarianism. Okay? So that it is a successful model, but we shouldn't give Save the Children an alibi because we know that the initial people who were involved with Save the Children or with Oxfam or with Plan International were often amateurs out there in the field, sacrificing their own health and their own prospects in order to help people. That's really not what the global humanitarian industry looks like now. We have to embed, I think, that fact.